Your jaw is currently holding a secret that your ancestors would have traded their lives to understand, a structural blueprint that dictates everything from how you breathe to how the world instinctively perceives your level of authority. If you run your thumb along the edge of your mandible right now, you aren't just feeling bone, you're touching a fossilized record of every dietary shift, social hierarchy, and evolutionary gamble our species ever took. Most people look in the mirror and see aesthetics, or maybe something they want to fix with a filter, but your jaw shape is actually a high-performance tool that was never meant for the modern world. The way it's shaped right now is giving you specific biological advantages and hidden, sometimes dangerous costs that you've likely never noticed until this exact moment. The question is, why does a few millimeters of bone determine so much about your biological success? Here is what nobody tells you. Your jaw is the primary interface between your internal biology and external environment. It is the gatekeeper. We used to think jaw shape was purely a matter of DNA, a fixed inheritance from your parents like eye color or blood type. We thought you were born with a weak jaw or a strong jaw and that was the end of the story. But the science has taken a much more mysterious and frankly unsettling turn. Research in the fields of epigenetics and biological anthropology, specifically looking at the transition from hunter-gatherer societies to agricultural ones, shows that our jaws are actually incredibly plastic. They're shaped by something called the mechanical load hypothesis. Essentially, the force of your bite during childhood literally signals your skull to remodel itself. It's a process called mechanotransduction. When you chew, the stress on the bone turns into electrical signals that tell your osteoblasts, the cells that build bone, exactly where to lay down reinforcements. Your body was keeping this secret. It can sense the world you live in and adjust your skeletal structure to survive it. But here is the twist. Because our environment changed faster than our genes could keep up, moving from chewing tough roots and raw meat to eating processed soft calories in the blink of an evolutionary eye, we're living with specialized tools in a world that no longer requires them. We're apex predators trying to survive in a petting zoo, and your jaw is showing the strain. Let's expose the first and perhaps most intense hidden advantage, the deep anchor or the wide square mandible. If you possess this, you are carrying the hallmark of the heavy mastication era. In evolutionary terms, a wide jaw isn't just about looking strong or masculine. Those are modern aesthetic overlays on a much older survival mechanism. It's about leverage. The wider the base of the mandible, the more surface area there is for the masseter muscles, the heavy lifters of the face, to attach. This provides a massive advantage in bite force distribution. In a survival context, this meant you could process tougher, nutrient-dense foods that would break the teeth of others. You could extract calories from things that would starve a person with a narrower face. But here's the twist. The hidden advantage today isn't about chewing raw tubers or breaking bones. It's about oxygen. A wider jaw typically correlates with a wider dental arch. Imagine the roof of your mouth. If it's wide, your tongue has plenty of room to sit flat and forward. If it's narrow, the tongue has nowhere to go but back, effectively choking you. People with the deep anchor shape have a hidden resistance to sleep apnea and respiratory fatigue. Their airway is a superhighway. They sleep deeper, recover faster, and often have higher baseline energy levels simply because they're not fighting for air every time they close their eyes. However, nature never gives with both hands. The trade-off for this high-performance structure is mechanical overload. That same heavy bone density and muscular capacity can lead to severe bruxism, teeth grinding. Your body is so optimized for high-pressure biting that it sometimes runs the engine even while you're asleep, wearing down your enamel in a phantom hunt for something tough to chew. You might wake up with headaches or a sore neck because your biological machinery is bored. It's a Ferrari engine sitting in traffic. Eventually, it's going to overheat. Then there is the refined, narrow jaw, often seen as a mark of modern elegance or high fashion. But in reality, it's a sign of high-efficiency metabolic adaptation. Most people don't know this, but a narrower jaw is a byproduct of the soft food paradox. As humans move toward cooked, processed calories, our bodies realized they didn't need to waste massive amounts of calcium and phosphorus building a heavy jaw. Evolution is lazy. It cuts corners wherever it can. The advantage here is one of energy conservation. A lighter skull requires less muscular effort to move and less caloric intake to maintain. In a world of scarcity or a world where calories are expensive, the person who could survive on soft, easy-to-digest food without needing a massive skeletal frame was the winner. There is also a hidden social advantage here. Anthropologists have noted that as human societies became less violent and more cooperative, our faces feminized. They became softer, smaller, less aggressive. A narrower jaw can actually signal a higher degree of social cooperativeness, a trait that has been vital for the large-scale community building that defines modern humanity. You are built for diplomacy, not the biting match. But the secret cost is crowding, and it's a modern epidemic. When the jaw narrows, the teeth, which are still programmed by much older, stubborn genes to be a specific size, have nowhere to go. This is why we have a multi-billion-dollar orthodontics industry. Your teeth are essentially trying to fit a grand piano into a studio apartment. This isn't just cosmetic. It impacts how you swallow and how you speak. The narrow jaw is a specialized adaptation for a soft world, but it comes with the constant risk of dental impaction. You are efficient, yes, but you are also structurally compromised in a way your ancestors never were. Let me tell you what's really happening with the angle of the jaw, specifically the gonial angle. This is a corner of your jawbone, right below your ear. If your jaw drops vertically before turning sharply toward the chin, you have what's known as a low gonial angle. This is the ultimate force multiplier. It's a geometry that allows the muscles of the face to work with maximum efficiency, like a short-handled lever that can lift a heavy weight. The hidden advantage here is actually psychological and deeply primal. We are legally blind to it, but our lizard brains see it instantly. We are evolutionarily hardwired to associate this specific sharp angle with high testosterone exposure during puberty and high developmental stability. Studies show that individuals with this jaw shape are subconsciously rated as more formidable or competent in high-stress situations. It's a silent signal of physical resilience that projects authority before you even open your mouth. In a negotiation or a crisis, people look to the low gonial angle because deep down, we remember that this face shape belongs to the survivor. But here's the catch, and it's a painful one. The trade-off is a locked system. This structural rigidity makes you significantly more prone to TMJ disorders. Your jaw is so good at being a fortress that it sometimes refuses to relax. The muscles are constantly taut, ready to fire, leading to chronic tension that radiates through the neck and shoulders. You're literally carrying the stress of your ancestors in the hinge of your face. While the narrow-jawed person is dealing with crowding, you are dealing with tension. Your face is built for impact, but it struggles with release. What's really happening when we talk about a prominent chin? This is a mystery that has baffled evolutionary biologists for a century. Here's what nobody tells you. Humans are the only animals with chins. Not chimps, not Neanderthals, just us. Even our closest cousins have a jaw that slopes backward. So why do we have this bony protrusion? The wishbone hypothesis suggests the hidden advantage is structural reinforcement. When you speak, and specifically when you produce complex human speech, your jaw undergoes a different kind of stress than when you chew. It twists and flexes. The chin acts as a buttress, a literal piece of rebar that prevents the jawbone from snapping or deforming under the stress of constant, complex articulation. If you have a prominent chin, your advantage is communication endurance. You are built to talk, to sing, to orally pass down the history of your tribe. It is a feature purely designed for the social era of humanity. The surprising flip side, a prominent chin often comes with a more vertical growth pattern of the face, which can correlate with long face syndrome. This elongation stretches the nasal passages and can lead to increased sinus pressure and mouth breathing habits. You might be structurally reinforced for speech, but you're likely more susceptible to the changing seasons and hay fever. It's a strange irony. The feature that helps you speak can sometimes make it harder to breathe through your nose. Now consider the high angle or recessed jaw. At first glance, modern beauty standards might call this a disadvantage. We are told to hide it with beards or contouring, but biology sees it differently. This jaw shape is often linked to a more flexible, elongated, soft palate and a different positioning of the larynx. The hidden advantage here is vocal versatility. There is a reason many of the world's most versatile vocalists, character actors, and linguists don't have the massive, rigid jaws of a linebacker. A more compact, recessed jaw structure allows for a different range of motion in the back of the throat. It facilitates the rapid shape changes needed for complex vowels and mimicry. It is an adaptation for nuance. While the heavy jaw is a hammer, the recessed jaw is a violin bow. It's lighter, faster, and capable of finer movements. The trade-off, of course, is the weak chin stigma, a purely social construct that ignores the fact that this shape is an evolution toward a more communicative, versatile species. The danger here is purely respiratory. The recession can sometimes push the tongue too far back, mirroring the issues of the narrow jaw. But the upside is a vocal instrument that is often far more capable of subtlety. Finally, here's the most powerful category of all. And it's one you can actually see in the mirror right now, the symmetry of the jaw. If your jaw is perfectly aligned, it's a biological green flag indicating a childhood free of major nutritional stress, parasites, or heavy pathogen loads. It is a signal of developmental stability. Your advantage is an instinctive, almost magnetic level of trust from others. We're drawn to symmetry not just because it's pretty, but because it suggests a robust immune system that can handle the environment without glitching. But let's expose the reality. Almost nobody is perfectly symmetrical. And here is the twist. Asymmetry is a superpower in disguise. Most of us have a slight chewing preference that has remodeled one side of our face more than the other. This asymmetry is actually a record of your adaptability. It's a map of how you've adjusted to your specific world, which side you sleep on, how you hold your stress, how you chew your food. A slightly asymmetrical jaw is a sign of a plastic, responsive biology. The trade-off is purely aesthetic judgment, but the advantage is functional customization. Your body sacrificed beauty to give you a bite that actually works for you. It's easy to hear all of this and feel like your destiny was written in bone before you were even born. It feels like the shape of your face is a cage that determines your health, your breath, your sleep, and even how the world treats you. It's tempting to look at an X-ray and see a life sentence. But here is the reality check. Biology is not a blueprint. It's a suggestion. Research consistently shows that these evolutionary advantages or disadvantages only account for about 5 to 10% of your actual life outcomes. That's it. The rest, the massive 90 to 95%, is dictated by your agency. The person with the perfect wide jaw can still ruin their health with bad posture and mouth breathing. The person with the recessed jaw can develop a diaphragm and presence that fills a stadium. Your phenotype is just a starting line, not the race. We often confuse genetic predisposition with fate. They're not the same thing. You can remodel your health, train your airway, and alter your social presence regardless of the gonial angle you were born with. You are not a finished product of evolution. You are a living participant in it. Evolution gave you the clay, but you are the sculptor. Your jaw is a bridge between the deep past and the immediate future. It's a tool shaped by the thousands of generations of hunters, gatherers, farmers, and storytellers that came before you. They survived ice ages, plagues, and famine so that you could sit here today. But you are the one who decides what to say with it. Think of your biology as the instrument you were handed at birth. Some are heavy and loud like a war drum, others are light and melodic like a flute. But you are the musician. The music is up to you. The question is, now that you know what your body has been hiding in plain sight, how are you going to use it? I want to see how this changed your perspective. Drop a comment below and tell me, are you the deep anchor struggling with the hidden cost of teeth grinding, or are you the vocalist who finally understands why their sinuses are always acting up? If you could thank your ancestors for one specific trait they carved into your face, what would it be? Let's see if we can spot the patterns in the comments. Would you like me to expand on the specific exercises that can influence jaw tension, or shall we dive into the mystery of why humans are the only animals with chins?